Welcome back. Now in this video I'll be talking about the Excel operators, and then we have quite a whole number of operators, but for the purpose of this video I'll be majoring on the following that you can see on the screen. So I call the Excel operators the building blocks of formulas, and the first operator we'll be talking about is the assignment operator. That is what we call equal to sign. That is the assignment operator, and very soon in the next few videos we're going to be jumping into the Excel function, Excel formulas and all of that, and this is something we're going to be using very often. I mean, we're literally going to be using many of these operators, but compulsorily this assignment operator is just like a compulsion. You can't write a function or a formula without starting with the assignment operator. So equals to is what we used to write, is what we usually use to begin anything, any equation or formula or function I want to write. So how that is done, if I want to make a computation, I could just come somewhere here. Let's use this worksheet, and I could say now look at, normally when I click on this, the active cell shows G3 because this is column G, row 3, right? But once I type equals to inside this space, you can see that this place changes, and then when I hover over it, the active box is saying functions. Now it has entered a function mode. It is no longer the default text mode. Now it's now in a function mode. So when I click on this drop down, you can see quite a whole number of functions that we are going to be handling. Some of them, I mean the vital ones. So we have the hyperlink, we have standard deviation, sum, average, if, count, maximum, sign, some if functions. And then when you click on the more functions, you can see that we have a whole lot of others here. So many, just so many. Category of functions you can do. It's currently in all. Let's check financial. Let's see what we have there in the financial functions. I mean, just so many, too many. Let me see. Statistical. Okay, we have the average, even a whole lot of others. So basically the equals to is assignment operator. That is what we use to start functions with formulas and the likes. All right, now so that's the first one we're going to be learning. So let me just leave it here. Now the next one, oh my, what did I just do? Sorry. All right, so once you click is equals to, like I said, it already enters a formula mode. It's expecting that you're about to do something. So anything you click at that point, whether mistakenly or intentionally, it just gets picked. And you see that whatever I'm dragging with my mouse, it is showing them here, and so once you already type equals to, know that it's already in formula mode, and you need to be careful at that point not to type what you don't need. So I'm going to remove that from there, seeing how sensitive it is. So the next operator is, we have the arithmetic operators, that is addition, subtraction, division, and multiplication, and they all have the same the regular symbols. So let's try them out. This is the addition operator. I do shift and this equal to beside my backspace. That's the addition. For what? Okay, oh my god, I mean they are all responding. All right, that is the addition. For the subtraction, I could just shift, and that's the one before. Okay, sorry. All right, this is subtraction just before addition. And for division, we have the slash, just the regular slash, and that is before the shift button, that is by your right hand on your keyboard. And lastly, we have the multiplication operator, which is shift and 8 will give you multiplication. So let's just put it out together. If I say now that, so like I said, to start any of them, you have to first do equals to. So equals to 1900. It selects the cell, then plus 100. When I hit enter, it gives me the value. So you can do it manually as well. I can say equals to 5 plus 5 to give you that. I can say equals to 10 minus 3, it gives me what I want. Equals to 2 times 2, it gives me 4. And once you click here, you can see the answer is here, but the formula that you use to derive it is right here in the formula bar. And you can now see why we call this place the formula bar. So when I click on this, I have 10 here, but I have the formula that derived it. So this is different from me writing just 10 here. They are totally different. This is just 10, but this was derived using a formula. This one as well was derived using a formula. E4, that is, E4 should be 1900. Now, one thing about formulas is it helps when we're, it helps for scalable work. That's the word. Now, this 1900, now if I change it to just £900 and $100 right now, can you see that it automatically updates? So if I had written 5 different formulas drawn from this particular cell, once I update this, I don't need to start updating all of them. They all update automatically. So now we've done the addition, we've done the subtraction, we've done the multiplication. Finally, the division equals to 100 divided by 10 or divided by 20 will give me 5. So that is basically how they work. And like I used here, I can also do them dynamically, which is always best. It's always best to do formulas or functions dynamically instead of hard coding them. So we've already done addition here, so let's do subtraction. I could just say equals to 2400. I select it, minus 400. You should give us 2000. Now the formula it's showing the dollar because Excel understands, since it was dynamic, this is a dollar and this is a dollar, this is a currency, automatically brings it back to what it was from here. So we've done the addition, we've done the subtraction. Let's do division. So I could just do equals to 3000. That's, I select E12 divided by maybe 3, and once I click enter, it gives me 1000 dynamically. So anytime I update this one, you update this one to 6000, that also changes to 2000. That's the good part of formulas. And lastly, the last one is the I think we've done division, multiplication. So let me use the smallest. I think this is the least, 1650. So equals to this times 2, and I have this. So I could also say this is already an answer generated from a formula. And I could also say equals to this plus 700. It gives 400. That's 4000. So I created a formula here, a function here, based on an output of this particular function. So I mean, it's just as simple as that. Over time, when we do more examples, it will all make more sense. So those are the arithmetic operators. We started by talking about the importance of assignment operator. You can't write any of them without doing this first, or you shouldn't rather. And lastly, the final 4 here are the comparison operator. We have the greater than, less than. We have the greater than or equal to, and we have the less than or equal to. Now these comparison operators return true or false. They return true or false. True or false in true or false, we call them booleans. They are called booleans. Booleans, BOOLEAN. Yes, that's what they are called. It's a programming term. You find that in JavaScript as well. So let's just try it out. So you just use to compare that. Is this greater than this? If it is true, to return true. If it is not true, to return false. So quickly, let's just try some examples. No, I don't want this shit right now. So let me just let me clear up this. So now I could just say that should I say this one, is it greater than? Now greater than, shift and you can see the greater than symbol at the second to last row of your keyboard after letter NM. Then you can see less than and greater than on your keyboard before the question mark. All of them are above the spacebar. So I do greater than is 1900, that column highlighted. Is it greater than 2000? And then once I click enter, it tells me it is false. And then if I drag this down, it checks all of them, which of them is greater than 2000. So is this the next one? Is it greater than 2000? Is still false. What about this one? Is greater than 2000? This is greater than 2000. The next one is also greater than 2000. But this one is not greater than 2000, so it brings out back a false value, and then false as well, and then false as well. You can see that the formula, all of them is checking if they are greater than 2000, and this one is also, we check is greater, so it gives us true. So there are instances where you might want to check. We could probably do we could do a column and say that we want to see overpaid. We want to see players that are overpaid. So it's going to just check if anybody that ends above 2000 is overpaid, and then that is where that formula comes in. So let's clear it out. Let's clear it out here and do it properly. So we want to know which players are overpaid weekly. So equal to, check if this is greater than 2000. It tells me false is not greater, so this one is just exactly. But anybody that earns more than 2000 is already being overpaid. So I'm going to double click this to just autofill, and we can see that we have 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 players that are being overpaid. So we could make a decision on this club, assuming that assuming that you are the. I thought I did this initially. Alright, I thought I merged this some videos back. I think I must have done a Ctrl Z and undid it rather. So we have four of them here. 1, 2 players. This is Zinedine Zidane from France, Kanu from Nigeria, and Filippo Inzaghi from France as well, and Roberto Carlos from Brazil. They are overpaid. Then, you can advise the club management that, okay, I think we should let go, or we should loan out these players because they are being overpaid. So that is just an instance. Over time, we'll get to like practice and we'll get to use it more, and then I'm sure you'll probably understand it better. And like I always say, it takes time and practice. So see you in the next video. In the next video, let me see. Okay, in the next video, we're talking about something more interesting. We're talking about range. So see you in the next video.